Welcome back to the First Line Library. I'm Jordan, and today I'm going over my most memorable books that I own. Let's get into it. So today I have a handful of books that just mean a lot to me, whether it was a gift or it got me into reading a specific genre or it's a signed edition or whatnot. So let's get into it, starting off with the Chronicles of Narnia. Now, this isn't the collection that I grew up with. This was one I found at a thrift store for a really good deal, so I picked it up. But these books are very instrumental to my upbringing. Growing up, I had a really hard time reading in grade school, so I listened to the audiobooks. At the time, there was a big collection of all the CDs of every single Narnia book, and I would just listen to those on repeat all day, every day, going to bed every night. And so these stories are just ingrained in my brain, and I just love them so much. I have a couple of different editions of these, so this is one of my favorite editions of the Chronicles of Narnia. So that's the first one that means a lot to me. So this next book, well, it's really another collection of books, actually graphic novels. It's Bone by Jeff Smith. Now, this is not your traditional novel. It is a graphic novel series. However, this is kind of what got me back into reading fantasy after so many years. A very good friend of mine, he dragged me to a convention here in Columbus, Ohio. Actually, he didn't really drag me. I really wanted to go. However, he did drag me to Jeff Smith's booth. I had no idea who he was. I was just kind of hanging around while he was chatting up with Jeff Smith. And I was just kind of listening to their conversation, not really picking up a whole lot of details on this. But not long after meeting Jeff Smith, I picked this up and I fell in love with it. And this is really what got me back into reading fantasy. And I just absolutely love this series. This is my one volume edition that my wife got me. It is full color edition. Really love this. I pick it up and read different volumes at random times. So if you haven't read this series, please do yourself a favor and pick this up. It is just incredible. All right, so this next book is very special to me. It is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Now, this is the first Tolkien book that I ever picked up. And really, I didn't pick it up. My mom got it for me. We were at a bookstore. She was looking for something, and I saw it, and I was like, hey, this looks interesting. It's got a dragon on the front cover. Mom, can I get this? And she was like, absolutely. Let's buy it right now. And it just, number one, this book is just amazing. But number two, what I really love about this book is that my mom encouraged me to get this and to read it. And she's a big inspiration for this channel, starting this channel. She loved reading. She loved talking books with me. And it's just very special to me. So I don't think I'll ever get rid of this copy of The Hobbit. I just love it so much. It always sits up on my Tolkien shelf. And I just love picking up and flipping through it, seeing the wear and tear. It's just a perfect copy for me. So yeah, I love this book, and I love the memory behind this book. All right, so this next book is what I credit to my book buying collection obsession and habit, and it is Alien by Alan Dean Foster. This is his adaptation of the movie Alien, and I found this at a Half Price Books in their rare collectibles section, and it was, fairly decent price, but I was like, I don't know if why would I want to collect old books? So every time I kept going back to Half Price Books, I would see it there, and then I'm like, maybe not. I'll put it back up on the shelf, and then I thought one time, I was like, well, let me go back to Half Price and see if it's there, because I actually do want to read this book now. And it was gone. And I was so devastated that I couldn't pick this up, and I couldn't find any other copies in that Half Price or any other Half Prices around me. So I went searching online, and I found this. I don't even remember where I got it from. eBay maybe, for an incredible deal. And so this is what I credit to my book buying obsession for my collection. This is the one that started it all, and I love this book and I love this movie, and this cover is just so cool. So that's the one that started it all. So what I have next is my copy of The Road by Cormac McCarthy. This book is nothing super special. You know, it's a reprint, hardcover edition, but this is in my top 5 favorite books of all time. I can't tell you if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, but it is in the top 5. I just love this book so much. I love the simplicity of the cover, just the text, and it's just such a nice book. You know, if you haven't read this book yet, please give it a try. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, but it is such an incredible story. So yeah, that's The Road by Cormac McCarthy. All right, so this next book is the only Folio Society book that I own, but I picked it up at an antique store in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina on vacation a few years ago for only $5, and it is 1984 by George Orwell. This is printed in 2001, Folio Society, incredible condition. I just couldn't pass it up. Such an iconic book and story. And of course, Folio Society, you know, when you find these out in the wild for great deals, you snag them up no matter what they are. So yeah, this is 1984, George Orwell, Folio Society from 2001. So one of my favorite collections. All right, so this next book is one of my favorite books of all time. Again, in that top 5 of all time, and it is Of Blood and Fire by Ryan Cahill. This is the broken binding edition. It is numbered and signed. Just an incredible edition. The details in this are just amazing. This map, the gold foil inlay on this is incredible. Just one of my favorite books to display. It is just so nice. One day maybe I'll get the rest of the series and the broken binding editions. But for right now, I have this one, and I just love it so much. One of my favorite books, one of my favorite collector's editions. So yeah, Of Blood and Fire. If you haven't checked this book out, their series, please do so. It is so fun. All right, so the last book I have here on this list is The Dog Stars by Peter Heller. Now, if you know me and watch this channel, you know I love Peter Heller. I gush about him all the time. But what makes this book, and this edition, particularly special to me is I got to have the chance to drive up to upstate New York last year and meet Peter Heller and get it signed by him. And it was just such a fun experience. I left here early in the morning in Columbus, Ohio, drove 6.5 hours to New York, attended the signing, and drove right back home and got home around 2:30 in the morning. And it was just such a fun day, and it just such a memorable day. Peter Heller is such a kind man. I'll throw up a picture that I have with him as well. Yeah, just incredible. I love his books. I love hearing him talk about fishing. I love fishing. So if you haven't checked out any of his books, go ahead and do so. This is The Dog Stars. This is his first fiction novel. He has some other nonfiction books that he wrote before he started writing fiction. But again, just one of my favorite books of all time. And it was just so special to get it signed by Peter himself. And I hope to go ahead and meet him some more times, get some other books signed by him. So yeah, that's The Dog Stars. So all right, so those are most of my memorable books, you know, the ones that mean a lot to me. They have a lot of emotional connection to them. They were gifts, or they got me back into reading. So if you guys haven't checked out any of those books I talked about, go ahead and check them out. If you don't want to purchase them, go to the library, go to Libby, do what you got to do to get into these amazing stories. So, hey, thanks again for taking the time to hear what I have to say. I'm Jordan. I'd love to talk to you guys down in the comments. Go ahead and like this video, share it out to your friends. I'd love to grow this channel even more and get to more people to talk more about books. So, again, take care and God bless.